I don't know what your aspirations are as a speaker, but assuming that you're a Toastmaster, you're in a Toastmasters club, and you've become confident, competent, and even feel that you're pretty good. You've won various contests in the Toastmasters organisation. What's the next step? Well, that's entirely up to you. You could spend the next 20, 30 years in Toastmasters and enjoy the experiences of speaking to Toastmaster audiences at various contests, area, division, even district. But is that enough? There are people who have spent decades in Toastmasters and rarely given a speech outside of the organisation. But if you want to go outside the organisation, and my advice is to do so, where do you start? You may want to become a professional public speaker, but where do you start? The start, I believe, is to go outside of the Toastmasters or rostrum or the public speaking learning organisation to which you belong and take a risk. Go on to what is often termed the Freebie Circuit. In other words, you'll go out there, you'll be a guest speaker, you'll enjoy speaking, you may even be wined and dined, but you will not be paid as a professional speaker. You will not be negotiating a fee for yourself. You'll just turn up and present your speech, workshop, storytelling, whatever it is. So how do you get into it? I got into it after I'd been in Toastmasters around about 10 years. And what happens in Toastmasters, if you belong to a number of clubs or you've visited a number of clubs, you will run into people who belong to other organisations. They might belong to a Rotary Club or a Lions Club or a Probus Club or any other organisation. And they've witnessed you give a presentation and think you are pretty good. These are the persons who are likely to approach you and ask you if you wouldn't mind coming along and speaking to their group. If they do that, take up the opportunity. But if you need to be proactive and you know somebody is in an organisation, you can always approach them, provided they've seen you speak and know that you're good. And they will say, yes, please come along, because you need to remember there are literally thousands and thousands of groups that meet and will continue to meet after COVID is finished, and they always need guest speakers. Some organisations need a guest speaker once a week, some once a fortnight, some once a month, some quarterly, whatever it is. There are lots of organisations which will welcome you as a speaker once you have delivered a speech to an organisation or a few organisations outside of Toastmasters, because you can then use that organisation as a reference for yourself. On the Freebie Circuit, you don't need to advertise. Your ability as a speaker will be passed on by word of mouth. And once you're recognised as being a good, entertaining speaker who delivers, who are not particularly trying to sell them something, maybe as an entertaining speaker or an informational speaker providing information, you will get invitations to speak. And once they've heard you once, they'll invite you back again and again and again. So, as I said, cultivate friendships with people who are in other organisations who are likely to see you and want to invite you along to their organisation as a guest speaker. It's a first step, but it's an important step. I took that many years ago, and on the strength of that, I've been invited to be a guest speaker hundreds of times, over 900 times in fact. This can happen to you too. Just become a good speaker and let it be known to other organisations that you are a good speaker. And the invitations, they'll flow in.